that is chapter number 4, and the name of chapter 4 is magnets and electromagnets. ठीक है, in this chapter we will study about what is magnetism, ठीक है, and what is attraction and repulsion, what is the theory for magnetism, what is magnetic induction, the effect of electromagnetism and use of electromagnets. ठीक है, but first of all we will talk about its introduction. ठीक है, as you know that you have studied in previous classes about magnets, so nearly everyone knows something about magnets. ठीक है, you have probably used a magnet to pick up pins, tacks and other things which is made up of iron or steel. ठीक है, we don't know when and how magnetism was discovered, but different stories are told about how a kind of rock was discovered which would attract piece of iron towards itself and hold on to them. For many years people thought that magnetism was a quality unique to one kind of rock, but it was interesting, but it was not really useful. At last someone discovered that a piece of iron would act like a magnet if it was rubbed on the rock, and this was followed by an even greater discovery. ठीक है, so when we are talking about magnet which is made up of iron was set on a piece of wood floating in the water, the magnet would turn until it pointed towards the north and south. So this was we are saying that this was the first compass, but अभी हम compass पे ज़्यादा डिटेल से बात नहीं करेंगे. We are talking about the rock, special kind of rock. ठीक है, which attract piece of iron and steel towards itself. So scientists have found that lodestone is made up of kind of iron ore called magnetite. Here you can see that the ancient Greek knew as well as we do that lodestone, an iron rich mineral, could attract other piece of iron. ठीक है, so lodestone is a naturally occurring magnet. ठीक है, now we are talking about that what is magnetism. ठीक है, when we are talking about magnetism, so magnetism is a mysterious force of attraction or repulsion which appears between magnets and materials such as iron and steel. Means के there are magnetism, आप टू मैग्नेट्स ले लो, उसके दरमियान में भी आपके पास फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन एंड रिपल्शन होगी. एंड बिटवीन मैग्नेट्स एंड मैग्नेटिक मटेरियल मींस के दोज मटेरियल व्हिच आर अट्रैक्टेड बाय अ मैग्नेट सच एज आयरन एंड स्टील और कोबाल्ट और निकल. ठीक है, एंड दैट फोर्स इज ऑल्सो प्रेजेंट बिटवीन मैग्नेट्स एंड मैग्नेटिक मटेरियल सच एज आयरन, स्टील, कोबाल्ट एंड निकल. ठीक है, सो दैट इज द मैग्नेटिज्म. ठीक है, देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ मटेरियल, द वन इज कॉल्ड मैग्नेटिक मटेरियल एंड द सेकंड वन इज कॉल्ड नॉन मैग्नेटिक मटेरियल. यूजुअली हम ये कहते हैं कि ऑल द मेटल्स आर अट्रैक्टेड बाय मैग्नेट, बट नॉट ऑल द मेटल्स आर अट्रैक्टेड बाय द मैग्नेट्स. ठीक है, मटेरियल्स दैट आर अट्रैक्टेड बाय मैग्नेट्स आर कॉल्ड आयरन, स्टील, कोबाल्ट एंड निकल. बट व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट नॉन मैग्नेटिक मटेरियल, एज देयर नेम इंडिकेट दैट these are the materials which are not attracted by a magnet. For example, aluminium is a metal but it is not attracted by a magnet. Glass, rubber, cloth, these are other material which are not attracted by the magnet, so these are called the magnetic material. If magnetism is now present between magnet and iron. ठीक है, iron material. Magnetism is a mysterious force of attraction and repulsion which appears between steel, cobalt and nickel and between the magnet. Is it clear? So now we are talking about here you can see that magnetism, an invisible force. This force pulls or attract metal objects towards the magnets. So there are lot, as you know that we have studied in previous classes, that there are different types of magnet. ठीक है, natural और man made magnet. Natural magnet में हमने lodestone की बात जो है वो मैंने आपको बताई है कि that lodestone is a natural magnet. ठीक है, and here now we are talking about the types of magnets. So bar magnet है, ठीक है, horseshoe magnet है and circular magnets. ठीक है, all these magnets are the man made magnets, and lodestone magnetite, that is the natural magnet. Is it clear? So next is we are going to study about that you should know that there are some permanent magnets and electromagnets. ठीक है, now permanent magnet आपके पास जो है we are saying that Permanent magnets are those magnets which can retain their magnetism for a long period of time, ठीक है, not a temporary magnet, that is a permanent magnet, ठीक है. So definitely it is a permanent magnet, so it can retain its magnetism for a long period of time. A perfect example of permanent magnet is a bar magnet. So permanent magnets have fixed north and south pole, as you can see here, ठीक है. So that is their magnetic poles we have with respect to geographic north and south poles of the earth. Later on we will discuss about this, ठीक है. Now what is electromagnets, ठीक है, or we can say that a piece of iron or steel which has been magnetized so that it keeps its magnetic property is called permanent magnet, ठीक है. Now when we are talking about electromagnets, ठीक है, here the definition is are object that attracts magnets when an electric current passes through them. So the magnet is only activated by electricity, as their name indicate, electromagnet. So that's why we are saying that these are the only magnet which is activated by the electricity. If you switch off the electrical current, the magnets stop working. Now that is the temporary magnet. Electromagnet is a temporary magnet, ठीक है. An electric current also exert a magnetic force, and we can use this fact to make magnets which can be turned on and off, and these are called the electromagnets. Is it clear? Now difference between the electromagnets and permanent magnets, ठीक है. Permanent magnets, they are permanently magnetized, and electromagnets, they are temporarily magnetized, ठीक है. They are usually made up of hard material, ठीक है. Hard material and soft material की बात हम बाद में करेंगे, ठीक है. यहाँ पे इस पॉइंट को स्किप कर लो. आपके लिए यहाँ डिफरेंस में ये दो चीज़ें आपको जो पता होनी चाहिए, that they are permanently magnetized while the electromagnets are temporarily magnetized. Is it clear? So the poles of the permanent magnet cannot be changed while the poles of the electromagnet can be changed, ठीक है. And the example of permanent magnet is a bar magnet, or example of temporary magnet is a solenoid wounded across a nail and connected to a battery. Inshallah in the next topic we will discuss solenoid in detail. Now the main advantage of permanent magnet over electromagnet is that it doesn't require continuous supply of electricity. Thus the bar magnet is widely used in schools and other institutes to demonstrate the magnetic behaviors of a magnet.